And one of the key reasons they do have is that most Liberians who will say, well, I'm going for 1 month, 3 months, they all still the visa. Some of them go and never return home. So the US government is saying, well, we're going to put within the next 60 days. Yes, within the next 60 days, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they all should work on this. In the next 60 days, if we cannot be convinced that the rightful mechanism has been put into place, Liberia will be along other countries that will be restricted from going to the US. The American business now will be finished. Yeah, Liberia American business now will be finished. So the memo identified benchmark that the administration, this country, some of them are failing to meet up to this restriction. Some countries have no competent central government authority to produce identity documents or civil documents. You carry fake document to the embassy. These are all of the things you're looking at. You go to the World Trade Center, you don't have a dime in your bank, and you put the money and say, I have 10,000 or 20,000 in my bank account. You know, you mislead the embassy and they give you the visa, you owe still. In the next minute, the person go and marry and so forth. So Liberia is no exception for all this country. So it's the big news running on the social media. Yes, the U.S. government have put Liberia listening up to the Secretary of State Marco Ruby, who sent the information on Saturday. In fact, it was on Saturday listed Liberia among 60 countries in the next 60 days if you don't meet the new benchmarks and requirements established by the State Department. Set a deadline for Wednesday that initial action plans will be needed for the requirement. So the country facing the scrutiny: Angola, Cape Verde, Liberia, Cameroon, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Egypt, Gabon. Let's say almost the whole of Africa, in fact. Yes, because you just list on and on and on. You just list the whole of Africa. But the key focus here is this overstill. People overstill for too long.
Yeah, so these are the two key things. Like I'm reading through one of the articles. This one is from Daily Observer, and it talks about these listed nations failing to meet key U.S. standards for travel security. And they also noted that some countries are unable to produce reliable national ID or passport documents due to inadequate civil registry systems. Others reportedly have a high rate of U.S. visa overstays by their citizens. They want that are very talking to it. Visa overstay. Yes. So and again, we some point in time we used to talk about these things. You know, like you go for conference or maybe visit. You know. And then before you look at oh, the other person disappear, we can see the person, and that's forever. You go for visit, you stay. So sometimes the consequences will come in the future. So that's what we are about to face now. So they say
in the next 60 days.
Yes, an ultimatum of 60 days to put in place measures, right? Well, what are we going to work within the 60 days to do anything with our with our passports, our ID, and all of that? Well, that will be it. But again, if we can meet up with the date and we become victim, then it is because of actions of our citizens.
Yeah.
Yes, who go to visit and stay. In fact, if you go to one community now and tell people to name people who went for visit in America and come back.
There are so many.
What?
There are so many.
America will beg you. We will not go there here without. Yeah,
interested though, when I went, someone said, like, bring the states. What you going to do about that? Even then, those will call you back. What you coming to do back here? It's wrong.
And on a serious note, some of you make our country to look the hell.
Yeah.
You see a family member or friend or someone you know in the US, and you are telling them, oh, man, what you going to do back there? I said we are in Liberia, we die. Something killing us here. I mean, if people want to, in the civilized society that we have now, a digital society, modern, if you go somewhere with proper documentation, you come back and people respect you and respect your country. But if you have this kind of fraudulent mindset that you see somebody, man, where you going back to do down there? Stay here. We'll find one girl to marry there. Say, and those kind of fake things.
Yes, you're right about that.
Please, man, when y'all go for the People's Summit and conferences, visit, come back. You go to America 1 or 2 times, you come. You see, Naomi Tapia, O'Neill Roberts, all these people are going to the States. They go many places and they came back there. Yeah, anytime they want to go to the States, their records are clear. Nobody will hold them on any kind of funny things. But some of y'all see like brother help. Some of y'all only because y'all fail to even do anything, a little work, little business, nothing. Y'all see the only thing you're waiting for in your life to just get opportunity to go America, you finish. That's the only thing you're waiting for. You can't do business, you don't want to work, nothing. You just waiting for America. I remember when we were in Danane, years back or decade ago, if I may say.
Okay.
We were just there now. Our full money come from America, we eat. We just waiting for one day to go America. Now we are doing. You go to school, you can't stay and study your lesson, wait for the America day to come so you can go America. They kind of mindset still in some Liberian people. They feel that they can only make life in America. You just go visit, but you stay there.
I want to make this clear.
That's for our country new. That's the problem we in now.
In Liberia, where they say God forbid, right? If this happens, right, don't blame the government. No one should blame the government. Whether it's Joseph Boyka, it's George Ria. Don't blame, like Liberian citizens, you should blame. One typical example, let me give you one example. You see Liberian music at war. America, if you're 10, you go in, and one person said that they will know. Yes. Even your 1,000, once you enter, you return, they will definitely know. The Liberian Music Award, for example, took 15 artists from here. They went to America. In 2016, guess what? All the 15 when the one came back. Yeah. That opportunity for artists going to America easily, the people put X to it. Who spotted? Not government, a Liberian, who the same Liberians that spotted. So even if the US put a restriction or visa restriction on our country, we shouldn't blame the government. We blame the citizens ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Great. Let's get to this. I want the police director to take attention to this. This was not something very good I saw on the internet. When the gun security officers, when they are together working as a team, they work in the interest of a country. That's why you'll have a stakeholders meeting. All right. The police, the immigration, together will say joint security. This happened in River G County, and I want the IG to not ignore this because this is trending on the social media. These two ERU officers should be sent to a professional center for good investigation. It's a very sad thing. The immigration is part of our security force. So do the Liberian National Police. Two ERU tie the immigration officer. They tie him on his neck. Can you imagine? It's not a bitter go though. The only animal you can tie. They tie him. The video is there. They tie him, haul him left and right, and assaulted him. The name of these ERU officers yet to be identified. But hey man, hey the great America. If I was doing detective crime watch that Marka, and I'll take the video, I'll pause it at a certain place. I'll pause it to see it. Okay, you see the two faces to identify it. Now I'll zoom it. Yes, that professional stuff. Good morning. I hope you get some of the equipment to your office there. Yeah. You pause the video, you zoom it, then you get our faces correctly because you'll see the badges are already there. ERU. They're right at the Wibo Konkon checkpoint in River G County. The joint security, ERU, and the immigration service. They tie the immigration officer, haul him left and right, they assaulted him. That's not good. It's not a good one.
Yeah, so again, this doesn't look very good in the face of the public. I don't know what was his offense. However, listen, joint security. Listen, joint security falls under one big umbrella. That's the Ministry of Justice.
Yeah.
So, and I understand that joint security has a standard operating procedure that connects all of the security apparatus in the country under the joint security. So in a professional setting, there is no way that members of the joint security is supposed to clash in the public in this kind of manner.
Yes.
Because you're supposed to know exactly when any member of the joint security violates any of the rules or regulations, you should know the channel to file your complaint, right? If this man commit, even if it is a crime, because in the first place, you don't even have the right to treat any citizen that day before talking about security personnel in the first place. Yeah. So when people commit crime or any kind of offense, there's process or there are processes and procedures that are supposed to be used to channel the grievance and whatever justice that can be served. But for you to see people who fall under the umbrella of the Ministry of Justice, under the joint security, going through this kind of confrontation. It is a sad thing. It is a sad thing, and we're not really supposed to be seeing this kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
a
man.
disgrace to the country. It's a disgrace to the security sector.
Yes, he's one of y'all. He tied a man just like a goat.
And the Ministry of Justice should do something about this.
Before
Okay.
before 12 o'clock today, the Justice Ministry
Yes.
should summon these people.
Something should be done
Yeah,
about this.
record them.
Because no matter what the offense of this officer may be, okay, this is not the way to do it. You have standard operating procedures within the joint security, and you know that. All of you under the umbrella of the Ministry of Justice, you should know where to carry your friend when they commit any kind of offense, but not in this manner. Yeah, that rebel time, that war time, yeah.
Definitely in this way, whether the LIS immigration officers have more of his men, there will be a serious fighting along the border.
Oh yeah.
So immigration guys, maybe in more numbers within the police, the ERU doing this kind of way, it could be a serious fight at the border.
So the people in River G Webo there who know some more details about it, you please find the details that the young men come to the nearest headquarters, whether the regional office or the central office in Monrovia, and come and explain to the authorities why they did what they are doing.
Yes.
This is shameful, and we don't expect professional security people to be doing this. You bring the entire country, justice system, and the security sector to public ridicule with this action.
So this is not for professional standards, the Ministry of Justice, right? Because both of them fall under the Ministry of Justice. So the Ministry of Justice should take charge of this.
So on you, the police, if these people are from the police, they are ERU officers, right?
Yeah, ERU.
Yeah, the police can investigate them.
Okay.
Yeah, the police can investigate them. Yeah.
Yes. Y'all look for the video. It's all on social media. Get a video and bring this man. So if you do so, you ignore a lot of those slap. The real occurrence will be worse. I know our Liberian people.
The training I went through at our police academy. You know, human being will know, right? Like that's why there's training for people who want to be security people. First thing is you have to be tolerant. You should be the last person to get angry as a security person. Yes, you should be. Now sometimes you see in the public before you see any security person, they get vexed, they assault people. That person is not trained, because you should be the last person to get angry as a security person.
Yes, one.
Yes,
you carrying firearm. You get angry, anything can happen.
Yes,
I mean, it's a very sad thing. So the Ministry of Justice, LMP, LIS, this is not good for the public. Don't remain tight-lipped on this. If you allow this slide, the real occurrence could be worse. I know Liberian people that no more talk. They're already happy to tie somebody's neck and haul him back and forth and something at the same time doesn't speak well. The last time we saw the army and the police here, it was that well for our country. We're all on social media. This time, like the police and immigration, gun security, man. Let's get on quickly to our last talking point. This has to do with the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala.
Okay, the Fala Shen?
Yeah, the Fala Shen. Fala have not done well in my own mind. Regardless of politics, I think it's a mockery to the CDC. All right. If you move on, you move on. To find an organization called Fala Shen.
And see, got nothing to do with Fala.
See that? Yes, Fala
is not related anyway.
Yeah, he just turned it around. Fala Shen. So this is a man we used to sell playing the plow. So I went back to some of his old videos. How he came as a playing setter, and now you become one of the most richest men in the country through the same CDC. Thomas Fala is one of the most richest men in the country.
Since he entered the legislature in 2006, he's still there.
He's still there, almost 21 years or 22 years. One of the other 7 lawmakers is Thomas Fala. Came through the ranks and file of the CDC. But
with the support of former President George Weah.
Yes, you're right about that. But today, the CDC forming an organization called the Fala Shen. And guess what? The buggery and jobs that are throwing at the Congress too. I mean, so in my own mind and wisdom, when you move on, you move on. Just like Marka playing for Barcelona, and Barcelona has done everything about him in his whole career. And the day he decides to move on and comes to play against his own club, he scores a goal.
You don't even
want to celebrate. He just have his hand up because he owe his loyalty back. That's why he has done to this party, fella.
Yeah, so on you to come through on that, I think, you know, whether Fala wants to build his own kind of movement to showcase his strength as a big politician in the country, the doyen of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, men who have served the legislature forever since after the war. There could be a better name for that movement instead of the Falashin. Why it speaks to me is that because we know about seditions, and then because of the love for they have
we are sharing.
So what you do now, if you coin the name of a movement Falashin, it means you are trying to say I am popular like we are or more than we are, and I am more than CDC or I'm equal to CDC, because it's either sedition or we are sharing. So for us to see a movement called Falashin, I mean, it sounds a little bit offensive in my mind. It sounds a little bit offensive to the CDC, and I think you could coin a better name for your movement. I know you are a respected politician in the country, but that looks like making mockery of the CDC in my mind, and I think it will not sound too well in the ears of some seditions, your friends. Sedition, you people are always family. Nothing can even separate you. You understand?
The Falashin.
Yeah. So if we have sedition, we have weashin, we get Falashin, and so.
So all the time you been in CDC, you never found this movement called Falashin, right?
No.
Yeah.
So they are trying to find a parallel group to CDC.
Yeah.
Or to the popularity of former President George Weah.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Yeah, let's break it.
Let's break it. Yeah.
I mean, so well, you chose your name, you are free to do, but you know, in reasoning, in reasoning, I think it sounds like a mockery of the CDC and a mockery of people who are lovers of George Weah.
Yeah, let's break it down.
So that movement name Falashin, for me, I think you can find a very strong political movement title and you move on with it. You have the right to form your own movement and stuff like that. But you know, modeling it on behind the sedition, the weashin, coming to Falashin, it appears that you are trying to measure arms with the former president. You are trying to measure arms with the CDC as a grassroots movement that you've been part of it forever, and you know the strength of the CDC. So whatever it is, but that's it. That's our thought on it this morning.
Yes, great. Our thoughts 5 minutes out. What's the time? The actual time? 9 minutes up to 9 o'clock. Let's get the lines activated. 9:15 we'll have Sino County Senator Creighton Ullman Duncan will be with us from 9:15 until 10 o'clock this morning. This is the Breakfast Show. My name is O'Neill, along with Marka. Call us on 0770-153-265. Yes.
0770-202579. 0770-202579. Let's take this first caller.
Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Morning.
My name is Fred Roman. I'm from this morning from District to my GB. And I'm so much interested in the talking point that has to do with the high level charges from the DSTV, the Starco, and all of that. Look, you see, District to my GB lawmaker is a chair on Telecom. And like it's about 3 months now, you've been raising the issue. And with the young people too, go to our lawmaker in the district, Representative Alpha Koklo Jones, asking him why he says that he's a chair on Telecom and continue to hear the cry from the Liberian people on the high charges the stations are imposed on them. And the only thing he said to all was, we will cry until our morty there. There is a man who is in close proximity with female female, because female female lives right in the district. Every day they take the female center to another place. So at that point, we want to see that our lawmaker has said to us, opening the Alpha Jones, that we will talk until our more clear. So, but I want to say thank you to the team that have been very consistent in raising the issues, and we will continue to domain political to see how best.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka, and good morning, Oni.
Yeah, please let's make use of the 1 minute each, please.
Okay, Amos SFR from Mauritius Farm.
Okay.
My attention this morning, Marka and O'Neill, is drawn to the slugging, the tying of the LRS official in River Key County.
Okay.
Look, this is inhuman. This is molestation. You don't molest your friend officer like that, and all of you people are working within the same joint security under the same umbrella. Look, we are all Liberians. You don't treat your friend human being as if they are both or they are dog. So thank you this morning. As you people have flagged it up, I hope the Liberian government is watching and let them take the action, that is appropriate for this particular thing they have done. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, 0770-202579. This caller on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the TBS.
Good morning. I'm one of the people content of the big brother Marka and big brother O'Neil.
Morning.
For the point.
Yo, your voice sounding heavy like that. You calling us big brother?
Yeah, oh yeah, you're probably now. I didn't plan to see you guys a lot. You guys,
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
yeah, well, I'm happy to be like, well,
Yeah. You gotta make some adjustment. Your line is your line is coming in broken.
Huh?
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. The reason why you said that other people hoping to live outside of the country that is thinking that they will get a better life, I'm telling you for real, the people are thinking the real way because other countries are making progress. I don't think they pass through all those things they will pass through. Why you for your friend in the bush there and tell the man like what the fuck?
I really won't go eh?
I mean, they are serious though. That one issue that two. Why you get somebody who is made from 2006 and that reach now and calling himself financial? I mean, no, that's crazy. So I mean, we got a serious problem in the country. People don't only a matter.
But you get reaction, you get citizen when you get falashin a bad thing.
It's wrong. That mostly making a cow, they put rejected cow already. Making all that money, bring financial again. So that's crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing for the show, man. I'll be monitoring you. You're making my thing.
Thank you,
Okay.
man. They see that they refuse the cow. Like, see that,
All
man.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you for always following.
They see that they refuse the cow.
Mhm.
Like, see the time for that launch, the
The
fallacian.
falashin.
Yeah.
And guess where they launch it? On the playing field. Yeah, they launch it
On the playing field.
Yes, that's where they launch
Yeah,
it.
on the playing field.
And most of the members of falashin are playing sellers.
Yeah, playing sellers. Great. Good morning.
And Marka, good morning to the Labron people. Specific.
Good morning, Yoko Shen.
I asked Mustafa Rajishan.
Not much about Radism, much about Radino. That is, you know, we got King Yoko 2029, King Yoko. It means that if you think about Yoko, all the things you're talking, Yoko get money, Yoko not get money. You must think about some of the good things Yoko doing, the base pay, how responsible Yoko is, the advocates that Yoko been involved with, giving children opportunity from Liberia to America and other countries where people fighting to go.
Yoko Shen, go ahead, man. Go ahead, please.
I mean, style. What day you campaigning?
So you people that I'm prepared this year, I'm not taking it for fun. I'm very serious about it. To start with, why you discuss this morning, you know the reason I'm always listening to you people is that I'm always motivated because some critical issues I want to deal with in society are things that you people are always talking about. When I become a representative, one of the things I want to push on the table is why is it that people will be recharging for data when the day finish of data stay there, your data goes. I think it's eating. You tell me to recharge my phone. I recharge my phone, the data stay there. Even if I'm making it small. It looks like when you give me food, I tell it on the table, right? You give me one bag of red. I'll cook me one bag of red. I want decide to cook it with half cup. You get to tell me say after 21 days, one bag of red you finish. No. So these are things we want to talk on. This is a poor country. Our people are suffering. So our leaders should be able to work in the interest of the people. I can have a data on my phone, they say the date expire, so my data is expired. So telecommunications is one thing that suffering of people in this country. I will be very serious on them to make sure that people can enjoy that communication. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's speak on the birthday, man.
Mhm.
Mike Timber birthday is today celebrated along with Fabian Michael from Nokai. Michael, happy birthday. Mike Timber, you live.
Thank you, O'Neill, and thank you for coming for the birthday wish. And I really appreciate it. Good morning to you, and good morning to my neighbor and brother Marka David.
Morning.
O'Neill, this morning you guys are really on top of things, and all of those issues that you guys have actually discussed in a worth of discussion. I just want to quickly talk about the issue of the DSTV and other stuff because I'm a DSTV subscriber. This country, like you guys have always said, is an interesting country. Why do you even think that people don't want to run away from here to go live in another country? Why do you think that we are not encouraging it? Because this is our country, it's our only patrimony. There's no other area we can be deported from like But things that happen in this country can really make people to feel that when you leave from here, there's no need of coming back. Because every government go, it's the same thing. You are not really seeing the kind of change or that they are free or they are in opposition. The time that the same old thing. Yes, TV. That you guys have been doing a lot of research about it too. In Africa, also, yeah, in Africa, we are Liberia paying the highest for subscription. And we think that all government can they talk about this kind of thing, they will try to do everything for because these are social initiatives that people should be enjoying. When somebody say they live for DSTV, you have nothing to do, so you come with that you watch it, your children watch it, some educational program, nothing for the people more than using this kind of thing for the people to enjoy. So thank you guys so much for every day raising the future. I hope that one day people who are responsible for it will take heed so that how people can start to live the kind of life other people
Okay.
are.
All right. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. Yes. Have a great birthday.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
Go,
morning.
go ahead.
Morning, Akwe Bue Senior. So where is the junior?
Somewhere around, we're going to be celebrating his birthday, the 20th of this month.
How old is the junior?
Sometimes, the 20th of this month, Marka.
He will be 11?
Yes, yes.
But he started 18 hours and do.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead, brother.
So, Marka, this morning I called specifically to speak to this issue where you talk about, Liberians leaving this country and not wanting to come back to their country. When you're Marka, there's nowhere like home. We all have listened to this same times in memorial. But what I can say, Marka, when the home is not suitable for the child will always want to go out to find somewhere at least to seek good refuge. If they not have a country, Marka, how can you have a country to live in your own country like you are an outsider? I mean, Liberia is the only country we are Liberians. I mean, typical Liberians. But we are in this country like we come from outside. See how our people are treating us. And it is only because of those that we elect into power. Like I said it for sure. The poverty Liberians are going through in this country, it is not natural. It is artificial. Because if you should for the number of resources we have in this country compared to the population of this country matter, no Liberian is supposed to go to there or enter somewhere. That is not possible. Look at the resources that we have. But what is happening? Our leaders, they have made poverty in this country an artificial something because they want Liberia to go and beg them on a daily basis. And Marka, you cannot be in a whole country like I said, you are stagnated, you are struggling, you wake up, you tell left, you tell right, no here, no there. What happens at the end of the day? When a man has an opportunity to leave from the country to go somewhere where he finds something good, where he feels that the environment is conducive,
so, Akwe, just before I take leave of you, please allow me to make this comment for 30 seconds before you leave the line. I know most of the times we have blamed our leaders for everything that happened to this country. And for example, over the past, let's say 20, 25 years, people of our age back then grew up through the ranks and file of the kind of politics and leadership style we have in the country and arrive at power, and they are there now. Now, I think Liberians as people should now stand up for the kind of leaders they want. In a sense that we should start to elect the kind of people we want. Let us stop this issue of trucking, for example. It is disheartening when you see election time, voter registration, everybody just jumping in car, moving from one district to another for $20 business. You acting as say you chicken is selling from one district to another. We must change the mentality so our leaders can change the mentality too.
One disadvantageous part of democracy. You know that democracy has the advantageous side and a disadvantageous side. And that is one of the disadvantages of democracy. In fact, that is democracy is the will of the people. But then, for example, if a leader, somebody who wants to, get to power, and the person tries to give money to the few that will be able to vote for them, what happens to the masses who will not be in a position to vote for that person? That's one of the bad part of democracy. So always saying these people will continue to do these things because they want to struggle with the Nigerian people.
Well, Akwe, thank you. You're taking most of our time. Let's see what our guest is getting set up. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me say good morning to you.
All right, your line is bad, Avin. I don't know why. Go ahead, let's try. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry, your line is not good. Good morning.
Good morning, Ambassador Marka. And let me say good morning to veteran Onion as well to those following the broadcast.
Morning.
My name is Aloysius P. Flomo Jr. and I'm from Lower Magiri County. Marka, this morning, let me say thanks for the talking point, most especially the one that has to do with DSTV. And we are calling upon our lawmaker from District 2 to see how best he can intervene because this has been, ever since call, most especially on this platform. But this morning, I called to speak on this issue that has to do with the current road conditions from Habel, from the Capitol Hill area all the way, the Capitol area to 15K. Marka, the road leading to the company, which is Firestone, only major hospital, it deteriorated significantly, and this is posing serious challenges for both staff and patients and other people that are even using this road. The poor road infrastructure, it can lead to delay in medical emergencies, increased transportation costs, and overall, reduce accessibility for those in need of urgent care. So we are calling on the management. They have said over the time that that road project belongs to government. So I think they need to see how best they can play a critical role in addressing this issue by collaborating with government to lead to the construction, solution of this road because it is very, very deplorable. If you drown the road marker, you know what exactly I'm talking about. So
Okay.
we are calling on the financial management to work with the government to see how best they can recondition the Habel to do start to 15K road. Thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you. Let's as we are getting set for our guest, let's recognize a couple of our followers as well this morning. It's important they're also playing their role. I just talked to this young man. Yes, Emmett Hammer is following this morning from Kakata in Margibi County. Thanks for joining. Yes, recognition of our followers. Lawrence D. Kawala always following. Good morning. Thanks for joining from ELW Rehab. Sarisa Wa is also following this morning. Says, good morning, my favorite talk show. Okay, Sarisa, thank you so much. And continue to follow the TBS. We also have G. Pierre Junior Aving is following this morning. Also, he says, following you live from Nimba. Thank you guys so kindly for your program this morning. Thank you. Also, Omali Siafa is also watching this morning. Let's go down a little bit and see a couple of people who are following the show. Tuning Gamonyu is following this morning as well. We have Emmanuel Yossi following from right here, Dupodro. Emmanuel Yossi. Jefferson Thompson is also following from Pipeline. As usual, and we also have Augustus Gallet Quia, who is also following this morning. Darlington Taylor is following from Mount Barclay, Nimba United Community. We also have Patrick Kennedy, our friend. Say joining you from Soul Clinic Police Station. Thanks for joining, Patrick Kennedy. You're always following the show. Lucini OK Gray, one of our regular followers. Again, the jobless Unity Party woman, Nosi Elliott, following from New Israel Community. I don't know why they don't want to give you job. The female general, yeah, Noah Elliott, following from New Israel this morning. We also have Howard Mendoava following. Thanks for joining. Let's go down, pick up with our followers again. Zondo Livingstone Jackson is following. Jackson Domoy is also following this morning on the show. Leva S. Gay following. Good morning. Thanks. Share the show and invite others to join us this morning. Shade will join the Sano County Senator Creighton Duncan, who is with us this morning already. Samuel Kofi Woods Jr. It says what? Thanks for joining. It says we are 2029 is show. Okay, thank you, Samuel Kofi Woods Jr. We also have following the show this morning, Blessing Vanning from Logan Town. Thanks for joining the show. But Samuel Kofi Woods, what a problem now? Not a papi that Junior. Moya Sharif, thanks for following us from Banga City, Bon County, Central Liberia. D. Kakula Willie, as usual, following from Kakata City. And Lawrence Montgomery is following this morning from Camp Johnson Road in Monrovia. We have as well Greg K. Suku Is that correct? Yes. Grace, Gray K Suku also following this morning. As soon as we have signal from O'Neill Roberts, we'll join Studio B with the senator this morning. So yes, let them make all the adjustment right then. We just cross over to them. We just our own problem in this country. What have you know? No, why is it we our own problem? uh, Top September mother Fit Dennis, the police woman, always following. Thanks for joining. Community relations. It's great to always have you on the show. Arthur member is following this morning. Thanks for also joining. Share the show. We are about to have a very grueling discussion this morning with the senator of Sano County. So yes, invite more people to join the show this morning. Howard Mendoava, thanks for joining. Yes, so let's see if when we get set, I'll get a signal and we will move. This is the Truth Breakfast Show here on Truth 96.1 FM. So I'll let you know the man we have with us this morning is the senator of Sino County. Uh, he's been outstanding recently. He's been very robust. He's been talking recently. So yes, we came here to say some more Liberia's issues. I've always said let's talk our issues and solve them and move forward. So as soon as I get signal, we join on you. Are we good? Yes. Let's see. Yes, Oni, are you there?
Yes, great. I guess you hear me loud and clear.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Marka. This is the last segment of the Truth Breakfast Show 961. Good morning to the folks relaying from Nimba, Bon Kante, and of course, Sino as well. This is the last segment of the TBS. My name is O'Neill Maka. It's a privilege to have making his first appearance with us on the Truth Breakfast Show, Sino County Senator Creighton Owen Duncan. Well, live with us on the TBS this morning. Let's hope we get a correction of the senator last name. Yeah, and
Over.
Saga, yes. Yes, Senator Duncan, good morning. Welcome to the Truth Breakfast Show.
Thank you, Neil. I'm very happy to be here today.
How you doing health wise? We're about to pick up from RIA. Yes, everything okay health wise as
So
we start
far,
this flight?
we tell the woman thank you. You know, we are okay by the grace of God.
Wow, you very happy to be here.
Come again?
You said you are very happy to be here today.
Definitely, because uh, I have decided to begin talking the hard truth,
Okay.
and I know the truth is never welcome by people because it is always new and strange, and so I just made up my mind to do that. To
Okay.
always talk the truth and the hard truth.
Okay.
That is great. So the show has also been relaying the voice of Sano Community Radio and D2 Radio in Government Camp, all in Sano County are relaying this interview. D3 as well carrying us live. Great. How is the people of Sino? You are the face, one of the face of them. How is Sino County?
We are there, but I don't think they are happy. But they are living and they are trying to cope with life.
When you say that happy librarians concerned, you represent them. What do you mean by that?
The issue of the hardship, the issue of us, it doesn't have to do with government.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to do with present government, you know, as people may say when they say hardship, that means people were enjoying doing early time and they were enjoying doing weird time, but now they are not enjoying. No. Early time, people did not enjoy. It was a handful of people.
Mhm.
George Weah time was also a handful of people. Joseph Boyka time, another handful of people. So our thing has not changed. Our destitute has not changed.
OH problem, OH. But why now? Someone will ask, but why now? Why Senator Duncan want to talk about this time? But why now?
Because of my experience in life, I've always been having the thought that corruption was the key to the suffering of the Liberian people. Since I was a young boy growing up in student politics, I was always thinking that. I remember doing the Daily Observer time when Kenneth Best started doing Samuel Doe time. I was one of the student leaders. I was president for the Monserrato Student Union under Linsu. And during that time, all I felt was corruption, corruption, corruption. And so I ran to the newspaper to buy it every morning to read about Samuel Doe corruption.
Okay.
And I grew up over the time believing that corruption is the key to the problem that we have in this country based on what we are doing here, suffering. But now, beginning, I think I took all these years to realize that that's not just all to it. Corruption to me now constitutes 20% of our suffering. But 80% of our suffering in this country is the policies that we have in place.
The policy. Great. So let's start like this. Let's look at your workings in Sino County. Librarians may be concerned. Those from the county will want to know what are your workings in the county.
Well, I was elected as representative of Sino 2017. And I served just one term. And the people saw it fit to make me to be the senator just a year and a half ago. There must be a reason. It cannot be for this old ugly face that are there that what they saw and say, let's make the old face to be our senator. So my issue here is not to boast, but my people were satisfied. That's why they made me to represent them as senator.
Well, the House of Representatives, was it too cold for you? Or maybe let's go to a high, right? Make better decision, not for a district, but the whole county.
73 men looks like 73,000 men.
73 men.
And women. And, let me just use that so they can say gender bias. But 73 people in that house constitute 73,000 human beings. The same way in the Senate, 30 person look like you are dealing with 30,000 human beings. Now, you may want to know why. In the House of Representatives, basically the houses are democratic. They're where we practice politics. That's the only real house that you practice actual politics. So everyone comes from the districts and the counties with their own concept. Everyone have their counties on mind. They have the district on mind. They come into the legislature with their own perception, and they're fighting for their own thing. So when you are there fighting, just know that you are fighting 73,000 human beings. Yeah. So it's difficult to actually get your dreams accomplished because they're a little bit too many and everybody fighting for their own thing.
Okay. So let's look at your top legislative priority for this term. What is it so important to you?
Because now I'm an old man now. And I think I have begun to realize, education has no ending. In as much I was an instructor at the UMU for 3 years, I was an instructor at Poddington Graduate School for 5 years, I'm still learning. And I have now realized that if we can change the policies that we have, it will help to improve our livelihood. I gave you one or two scenarios here. I made a research, and our man had a thing that he wrote a book. They called it, his name is Nana Diop.
Okay.
And in that book, he listed 5 key things, which talks about how they keep our partners that we're all relying on, thinking that heaven, bread or manna will fall from heaven. He said that they will never come to help us. As a matter of fact, the main reason is to keep us apart. And while we are fighting, insulting our leaders, saying how corrupt we are, how this, how that, then they are on our soil and exploiting our resources. The resources that we should be able to keep to change the livelihood of our people is what they take. And to the extent that they do that to our destitute, and we don't realize it, but the only thing we realize is who is corrupt, how they are corrupt, who is corrupt, how they are corrupt. But the actual corruption, nobody pay attention to it. So Dior said, they will keep us never to unite. They will be able to serve those, they will have leaders that serve the foreign investment. They will always support them. So when you hear them praising leaders, it tells you that those leaders have surrendered your resources to them. He also talks about keeping us weak in Africa, that we cannot actually industrialize. And once we cannot industrialize, then our raw materials will be exported to them. Then they transform those raw materials and sell it back to us very expensive. All right. He said that we should make sure that our educational system does not teach us to be innovators, but rather workers. So those basically 4 major things. And the last one here he talks about is he control you guys, the media.
Okay.
The partners control
the media.
Yes.
About what means?
Well, he has so many things that he listed, but the media, they use the media to make our poor people to believe that the suffering is just their suffering. They should embrace their suffering. It just for an example, what the Bible tells us that, you will not be rich on heaven, but those who are poor here should not worry. When you die, everybody, you will walk on the street of gold.
Is that a man-made song?
No, you will walk on the street of gold. So suffer here, but when you go to heaven, you walk on the street of gold. So that is what they also bring in, because they brought the Bible down, and they are using that to also make us to believe that we should suffer. Then when you die, you will be walking on the street of gold. Why don't they suffer with us? Why do they enjoy the earth? We suffer, and when we go to heaven, all of us enjoy.
Maybe we African with our own problem.
It is. And so this is why now I have realized. So take example. Let's leave deal. We should now develop something we call that self-initiative, be able to do things for ourselves.
Okay.
If you look at the mineral resources that were exported from here, only gold last year, we exported up to 7.8 tons of gold. Now, people want to know what is a ton. Many of us don't understand it. A gram of gold, everybody know that. Right now in the world market is 109 US dollars for 1 gram. That all Liberian men know what is a gram. So 100 gram is 1 kilogram. 1,000 kilogram equal 1 ton. So that I wanted to follow that trend. So if 1 gram is $109 on the international market, 1 kilogram basically is what? It's $109 million.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Very
saying?
well.
So if you times that by 7.8 ton, it tells you how many millions of dollars gold that we exported out of this country. Now the question is, what is the benefit?
Which country?
Liberia. So what are we benefiting from that? A little taxes. And what I want you to know before going deeper into it, the Constitution, when Sawyer then wrote the 1985 Constitution, Sawyer then said they dropped out the issue where government have the right for concessions. In the former Constitution, government had the right to give concessions. In the new Constitution, under Article 22B, it says that all minerals under our soil, all resources under our soil, belongs to the Republic. The Republic is the people.
Okay.
It belongs to us as a people, not to a government. So when anything under your soil, when you find it, it is for that community. And that community should benefit from it. If the community is not able to harvest it, then the community will invite the rest of the Liberians. If Liberians in total cannot harvest it, then we can employ foreign investors or foreign partners to come in and work for us.
Is that happening?
This is the issue.
Is that happening?
So the reason you see me bringing this debate is because I'm tired listening to radio and everyone just cussing. Everyone just crying. I want us to begin to look at it from a different perspective now. We have been looking at the corruption syndrome from the time I was born up to now. It still hasn't changed.
Before you continue, are you doing this? Before my colleague Marka can come in, are you doing this on your own? Because some way along the line, someone will just say, "But Creighton, you wasting your energy. This has been like real old age problem."
Well, I understand it.
Do you have a team or is there a movement you coming up with?
I have realized this. That even taking it on the floor, do you know personally I have on the floor, which I expect a result to come up today, will be making it 2 weeks according to plenary.
Okay.
That in my letter to plenary, I'm asking plenary, why is Mita Steel called Mita Steel Liberia when it is an international organization?
Okay.
So are they trying to evade taxes? Or are they doing a manipulation that please the people abroad? Who are those shareholders in Mita Steel to be called? Because our business registry, when you're a Liberian company, you must be owned by Liberians. Shares of Liberian, how many Liberians are having shares in there? Firestone Liberia was never Firestone Liberia. Somewhere in 1987, they changed the name to Firestone Liberia. What instituted that? What brought about them changing the name to Liberia? What's the benefit? Now, in our very letter, I'm complaining Firestone Liberia, Mita Steel, but then I brought these guys, B Mountain in. B Mountain made over $800 million last year in exporting gold. So then I asked, what gave B Mountain the right to be grabbing the Cape Martinians land? All right, why are they there? And the people of Cape Town are still in destitute. They are very poor. The same mud houses that B Mountain met them in, they are still in those same mud houses. Nothing has been changed.
You can't do this on your
own.
Alone. You can't do this fire alone. You won't be successful.
We are paying attention to our colleagues in the House, in the Senate, and everybody. Now, what we have decided to do, because as you said, one man will not be able to make it. So I'm talking to my colleagues. We have had 3 different meetings now. I'm also bringing it to the Liberian people to pressure the representatives and the senators that we should face this issue. As a matter of fact, I'm writing a communication to plenary action plenary, which I'm sending in today and hope it comes on the floor tomorrow, that the Senate must invite the president to a retreat. And in that retreat, we should discuss the resources of Liberia and the policies surrounding those resources and how we can revise those policies. Then our people will stop costing us for $45,000 car. Or $45,000 car is the cheapest car you can ever buy, brand new car for Liberia.
If people are poor, so if
So
if buy for the $5,000 car, I mean, someone
but
does
that's
just
not-
for $1 to
But that's what I'm saying, because everybody eyeball is just looking at that. But you think if we take that 80% of the reasons why we're suffering and face it and embrace it and deal with it, do you think if your lawmaker were writing $100,000 car, you pay attention to it? Hell no. See these other countries. Look, I have countries here that embrace the economic liberation.
Okay.
We have Vietnam from 1993 to 2013. That was about 20 years. Vietnam reduced their poverty from what? From 50% to 30% today. You look at people like China. China owned the entire world knows about China. From 2000 to 2020, 20 years, China reduced their poverty from 49% to 0.6%, which is less than 1%, embracing economic liberation. Rwanda did the same from 1995 to 2015, 75% to 30%. Look at Ghana. Ghana right there. When I went to Ghana in 1990, running from this war, when I got there, Ghana was like nothing. But from the year we stayed there, from 1991 to 2012, go and see what the Ghanaians have done. In 21 years, Ghana were able to change their economy. They reduced poverty from what, 52% to presently 13%. So why can't we introduce something that can change our livelihood when we know the facts, and we should begin to face the facts? So that is the issue that I'm concerned about.
You've been reading lots of books before Marka can comment. What you have come across as well? Rich country, poor people.
Yeah, by my man
Sam Jackson.
Yeah, Sam Jackson.
Rich country, poor people. Yes.
But that is the fact. And so when our people stop paying attention to the 20% reasons why we are poor and pay attention to the 80%, then the 20% can be dealt with in the future. Look, Liberians as human beings by nature are corrupt. That's why I told you I've come to talk the hard truth. My speaking is not going to be manipulation under no condition. Your cook, when you send her to the market to go and buy food, you give her, say, maybe $10 for that day. She will eat some money for you. The driver, you gave him money, say, go and put gas in my car. He will also take small money for money. The corruption is embedded into us from even our children. When we send them to school, we give them the lunch. The money we give them for lunch, they teach us, demand it in order to give them free grades.
And let's end it. The budget, if you sit on the budget, Liberians believe that some of what belongs to them, that people refuse the budget to, some goes to y'all.
Yeah, but think about it now. Let's talk.
No, we try to balance it.
No, but this is what I'm saying, because over the years, all we believe is the national budget and what comes out of it. And that can change our livelihood. My man, for the next 50 years, you continue living by the national budget, there will be nothing changed in this country. What is our problem is what we have that we are not making use of. Look, I gave you an example. Liberian men like to see other people enjoying the resources and not the Liberian themselves enjoying the resources. I remember one time, Senator Edwin Snow, during Ellen Johnson time, Snow came up and said he wanted an oil black. I don't know if he said that, but the news just came all around. Snow want an all black. Well, who is he to take a whole all black? We look at men like Snow. But a Nigerian man came, took the all black for, I think they said $200,000 or $2 million. There's some either $2,200,000. He sold the all black for $200 million. And he didn't just stop there. After buying it cheap, he sold it for $200 million. And on top of that, still have 7% share in that all black. How naive can we Liberians be to celebrate other people? Our resources, they say nobody must touch it. We shouldn't touch it. They say, as a matter of fact, as a senator and representative, you are condemned. The laws we make, that is foreign guys that make us to make, that help to make us to be poor. And then once we are poor, our people become poor. Because in the end, they come to you, oh, Senator, please help me, my wife in the hospital. Senator, please help me, I need bed arrest. Senator, my child got to go to school. Senator, my this. Senator, my dad. They're very partners based on Dior. They just I just think short, so I can't go too much with Dior. When he said that, these very partners, the strategy they use is they make you poor, you the leader, and then in return, your people suffer that. And it's very simple. They come to us in the hallway, they make you to make laws to buy your own so-called elites for becoming participant into the resources of their own country that I can be deported from. But then in their country, if you Google it, you will see that senators and congressmen, who they call representatives in Liberia, have the right to participate in what we call owning companies, owning shares in company, trading stock on the world on New York Stock Exchange. And for us in this poor country where we have nothing, they say when you are there, then they say that conflict of interest. They call it a big name, conflict of interest. But in the country, in the great United States, it's not conflict of interest. As a matter of fact, they have something that they call the poke barrel. In this poke barrel, and the word poke, pig, greasy. They did not find another name to name it. They named it poke barrel. In that poke barrel, every building, every benefits for that state or that district for the congressman is being taken into consideration. So the congressman or the senator there do not put the money in the pocket to build or single thing from their own. Everything they want is put into the big budget. In Liberia, we don't have that luxury. Our people will have money for that. Look at, we might be going for budget shortfall to recast our budget in July. It's a possibility. So we don't have it. But yeah, what they do, they make their senators and representatives to relax. But then in Africa, they come and say, don't own this. Then our people are happy for that. Then they come again and say, the salary is too big. Then everybody, yeah, the salary is too big. Don't cut it. But when we cut it, which they are happy with cut, what happens next? Who suffer it? But now when you come in front of my gate to ask for help, I'm unable to help you. But let me give you one example. When election time comes, and I go, the president who is elected, before he's elected, he travel around the various counties, visiting his people, talk politics and leave. They like him. After he has been elected, how many times do you see the president going back? And besides that, even if he goes back, it's just on the platform. How many common persons will have the access to reach to that president? It's difficult. So when the president leaves that county, who do you think the people come to ask for help? They come to us. Please build our school building, no school here. Please build our hair pump. Please build our clinic. Please build this. Please build that. Please do that. And the person, but that's not a responsibility. So you're not supposed to do it. Go and tell the people that. Go and tell your poverty-stricken people in the county, don't come to me to ask me for that. I have my 3 cardinal responsibility. That's why you elected me for. Go and tell them. Go and tell them. So what did people, and that is smart part. I want us to, it is difficult. I know I wouldn't be able to convince people, but if I'm able to convince 10 persons in my lifetime, those 10 people, if you can convince another 10 persons, then that's 100 persons there. And that 100, another 10, that's 1,000. And that's how I want this economic liberation to begin. That is why I'm forming a movement that I'm calling our movement. Our movement. A movement to pressure lawmakers, to pressure the president in order for our policies.
I hope that you will change the political party.
Right now, I'm not a political party.
Yeah.
You're journalism.
No, it started as a movement, and no one.
And then let me just say something else here. Look at some of their strategies or how they treat us. The issue of this sanction that scares most of our lawmakers from talking, which I believe is the reason why many lawmakers don't like to talk against our partners. When they come into the country, they put you under sanction. Everyone in the country happy. Yeah, those men are corrupt. That's why they put it under sanction. We find comfort in insulting our leaders on the radio. But no one is asking why was A, B, and C put under sanction. What are those evidence? What are those proof of what they are claiming. First of all, have we been told why they are put on a sanction? No, nobody cared for that. So one time, the about 9 to 12 persons from the American government visited the Senate, and we went into that meeting. Taros were there, Amara Conan were there. I mean, just name them. I think we were about 8 senators in that meeting. And when they got through talking, they weren't talking about this sanction issue, but I just brought it in. I say, you guys are the American, part of the American government, and you guys are aware of what I'm about to ask. You put our sitting lawmakers under sanction. You put some sitting ministers at the time under sanction. Can you please tell us why you guys put these guys under sanction? One of the gentlemen spoke on their behalf and said, if they want to know, they can take up their cases to the court in the United States, and they will be having a redress and they can exonerate themselves. So I said, but how can they exonerate themselves? They don't have the power to go to America. You have already put them under sanction. They are not Liberian lawyers. Not many Liberian lawyers are registered under the bar of the United States that they can send from here on a cheaper basis to go and represent them. So, first of all, are these sanctioned government officials have the money to go to the United States and pay $3,000 per hour to fight for somebody to exonerate themselves? I said, that is not a fair game. I said, but yes, in my mind, because if you put someone under sanction, you don't tell the Liberian people why. You leave our mind to open up and leave our mind to think for why. And that's some of the reasons I'm now thinking. The question I asked myself, I said, look at, for an example, Emmanuel Nukwe, the senator from Maigibi. If you were charging him for whatever you say you charge him, let's say corruption, like how Liberian people like all the leaders to be called corrupt, and we find glory in that. I said, so take example of Nukwe. Nukwe served his way in the House of Representatives. He became a speaker of the House of Representatives. The speaker, by law, is responsible for the financial implements of the country, and anything based on financial issues originate from the House of Representatives. Mostly our budget and other financial instruments. So the man who controlled the budget, when he was senator, when he was representative as speaker, you ain't put him under sanction at the time. Because as the speaker, the way Liberian people like to see it, they're corrupt. The speaker will eat money, the budget is this. You didn't put him under sanction. But you allow him to go to the House of Senate, serving in the House of Senate, then after several years, you come in and put him under sanction. Then my question I ask you, is it that you are now concerned that maybe my mind is wide open? You haven't told me why you put him there. Is it because Nukwe may have negotiated with Jetty to establish a rubber processing plant in Maigibi, bordering the border to Rubber Firestone? Okay. That you leave me to think. Okay. Because if you had come up and told me, say, this is why you're putting our leaders on a sanction, but our Liberian people don't respect our leaders. We are happy for another man to come and condemn us, and everybody just look at it and relax and say, yes. But I don't blame them, because, look, I tell you a little history. We are still learning politics in this country, whether you believe it or not. And I've come to talk the hard truth. I can't look for favor. If you look at the history, when the free slaves came to Liberia, how they took over Liberia, the Republican Party, where the mulattoes were in charge. The mulattoes were the only ruling elite in this country, and they had a party. They ran that party as a single state party until the dark skins, free slaves who were not allowed to read and write in America, because the difference between them, the mulattoes were the children of the white master having children by the black slave. So on their plantations, they were allowed to learn how to read and write to help their father to take tallies of the different cuttings that is coming from the field and other statistics. When they came to Liberia, they were the only people that could read and write. So they took over the country, they started leading it. But when the Tory party was founded, the Tory party based on the dark-skinned cotton pickers, farmers, slaves, they overwhelmed them. They were in majority. And so Tory party took over that Republican party. In the end, what happened? His name, E.J. Raw, was the first guy to become the dark-skinned president of Liberia. And over time, the Tory party led this country as a one-party state until 1980 of recent, before Samuel Doe came. When Doe came, cut the Tory party off, he himself grabbed the National Democratic Party, and held democracy also in his hand. No freedom of democracy. Even the only election he held with Jackson F. Doe, there was a big problem here. All right. So the true democracy of Liberians began just now between Ellen Johnson and George Manuel Weah.
Wow.
That was the first major democracy. And from there, it's still in our time. So all I'm saying, we're not used to politicking. So to us, freedom of expression means to insult. Freedom of expression means to say what you want to say without any sense of proof. You understand? And so we're learning. I believe, and that's why affecting the Senate and affecting the House of Representatives.
Okay.
Because the culture we have, there are two things. The culture we have, a boy cannot talk to his grandpa or his grandma or his father by looking in his face and telling the father the truth. That's a cultural issue. The man cannot talk to his leader or his boss man face to face and tell him the truth. That's disrespect. So when you are a representative or a senator, you are still scared in you to look at Joseph Boyka and tell him the truth, or to look at the pro tem and tell her the truth.
Okay.
And that affects the way in which we live. And so I don't blame them. Maybe in the next 50 years from now, our little children then who taking over from us may be able to defeat that kind of a scenario on inferiority complex.
All right. Yes. Yeah, Marka, you're coming through.
Senator, thank you. Your position this morning and in recent times look to me like the typical or the ordinary Liberian position on how they live and how the leaders live. So you are playing a role this morning like you are an ordinary Liberian who is questioning how the leaders are running the country over the period of time. But in your case, you are like the partners are taking more and Liberians are getting less. This movement for me is interesting. I hope this can move further. However, uh, the core values, what the key message you are trying to preach and what are you trying to achieve for Liberia?
The key measures is reforming our policies. And it must be. If it doesn't, nothing change. You see, and I strongly repeat this, 20% of our problem is corruption.
Okay.
20%. Okay.
80% is our policies that we have, that these partners have made us to put in place. And if we can revisit it, I gave you 5 years from now, or I gave you a decade, in a 10-year period, things will change dramatically in Liberia.
So
And this is what, since people are afraid to face the fact, and afraid, you see, I tell you about George Weah and Joseph White. weight that is in they are charged with. So as for return is expensive. So construction of that concentrator should not be celebrated. It is a value added for ArcelorMittal. And I bet you, in the next 2 to 3 years, if the people of Nima don't start complaining about the concentrator damaging the waterways, don't call me Tom. In the next 3 years. Before this concentrator was built, there was a concentrator. Ask those guys who grew up in Nima, what will happen to the rivers? What will happen to the streams? Our EPA will not do nothing. Because I mean, you saw the president standing there, so everyone there. What are you going to tell us about that? $1.4 billion investment is a good use, so we'll clean the waterway. So, I mean, what I'm saying, we should stop looking at things differently and look at the real root problem that we have. Once we can solve the problem, my brother, our problem is.
How long do you intend to put a verify and now this is great to break into the report. I mean, not like the other senators. If you agree some of the comments, how long do you intend to go on?
Right? That is why I go. As I go to Senate, and I'm voting for them to support. What I have done, I will be taking people to court. So if I talk, you don't listen, I write, you don't hide. I complain you to the speaker, because the speaker is the head of the joint session, he's the head of the legislature, and take a complaint there. If he doesn't listen, I told the Senate, I said the first 1 year was basically honeymoon. From the second year, it's time for us to pay to 5%.
People look at it from my aspect. Let me take it to your account. The support national, I mean, it's a familiar part. I mean, in terms of forward to the second guidance in Africa. The last time I saw videos, pictures, I mean, coming out of the park, very terrible.
The fact is, who owns the park? The question I should ask you, is it owned by the Liberians? Is it owned by the Norwegian? Is it owned by the Swedish? Who owns our park? What is the benefit to Liberia about that park? Now, we all know that park is used for research purposes, scientific research purposes. So it is our partners that need the park even more than us. Or typical Liberian men don't understand when you talk about park, what does that mean? Okay? So they need the park. They come in, maybe they wave some kind of 100 million to government and say, oh, let's preserve a park. And government decide to preserve that park. What is the benefit to the owners of the park? According to our law, the village or the towns or the community around that park is owned by the residents of that park. If you transform it into a national park, it's good. Nothing wrong. But the question then I ask, what are the benefits of those residents? I was there telling my people, thank you for electing me. And I went to the Sapo National Park. The road leading to the national park, the residents of the national park, of that land, they're still living in mud houses. Their children's lives are not changing anyway. As a matter of fact, where they used to go to take 20 minutes to make the farm, because of the national park, they are taking 2 hours walk to go and make the farm and 2 hours walk to come back. So let's look at the benefit. What is the benefit before we begin to start talking about people are destroying the park?
You hope to bring that on the floor.
Burkina Bees are there taking over the park. You think if the Liberians were not embracing the Burkina Bees, they would be in our park? Or they would be, let's forget about the name park. You think they would be on our land? No. In that park, if you really go and look at the details, they have discovered that park has gold. Look, what those partners do, before you even map up your own resources, they already map it up through satellite. They know what is there. You don't know. They know. Gone are those days where you take shovel now to go dig to go measure what a quantity of gold is somewhere. You see satellite discovering. So you look into our park, you may discover that there's a major deposit of gold that they are not ready to harvest, or some other minerals into that park that they're not ready to harvest. All I'm saying, if you are so psychological, let our people benefit from it. You say the man shooting hunt. Okay. FDA running behind the people for hunting. Okay. The question there is, how do they get protein? How will people get protein? what is the substitute to these tenders you are putting in place? You see, when you talk and they will say, oh, donkey, he want pack. Oh, donkey wanted to kill the animal. Oh, donkey. Are you really thinking about the people? And that's the purpose of government, to think about the people first before thinking about other people.
Think about the people first before thinking about other people. 6 minutes up to 10 o'clock. Definitely will running until 10:05 because of the breaking transmission. His name is Creighton Omen Duncan, Senator Sino County. Let's get the lines activated. 0770-153-265. He's launching a new movement called Our Movement. Our Movement. Yeah, 0770-153-265. Yes.
0770-202579.
Yes.
770-202579.
Yes. Good morning. Our first caller.
Good morning, O'Neill. Good morning, Marka. And good morning, Mr. Duncan. Thank you for coming to the studio to give us information about our country. I believe that some of the things that you're saying, I will support completely. And that will come to stuff like telling the leadership the truth, or somebody who's in power, don't be afraid to speak to them about the truth. I totally accept that. Also, Absalom Vital, I agree that they probably have the upper hand, but we started to go in the direction where the country is getting educated about mining. And thank you for coming to talk about that. Now, the other part is the Environmental Protection Agency has a responsibility. The legislature has a responsibility. The both houses, and they're supposed to clamp down on the EPA or whoever's supposed to be totally responsible for controlling our land. The police department, the border securities, supposed to participate. The people who are responsible for the parks or the forest supposed to be responsible too, and collectively will be able to control this thing. Burkina Faso are getting registered now, so that we can know who they are, and I'm quite sure the government can control those 60,000 people who would stay. I don't know if they counted them head by head or it's an estimate, but we can control them. And you particularly, I will ask you, because you have come to the end and they tell me that you were quiet. I don't know you particularly, but I accept what you're doing.
Great.
And I really would appreciate if you balance the equation. All the destruction that all the mining companies been doing over here, we see that Asila Vital is giving back some. So let's see where we can make a balance and where we can get rid of, and we move forward. We move.
Yes, we move. Thank you. Thank you. Sincerely, my personal number is giving some problem. Those of you calling, you may not go through. Yes, Marka, if you go call, you pick two from your end. I do two from mine. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
used to
please
call
move away.
Brian. Where you can call the other number, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think the
Yes.
senator spoke on
Yeah, let's talk our movement
Yes,
can be
Dominic.
policy
Go ahead.
reforms and all of that. Let's talk about that. Should not, use the Burkina Faso issue too much. Let's go ahead. Yes.
Okay, that was just passing through.
Morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, Larry, hold on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's pick up Superintendent Warren Brian. Warren, morning.
Just stay on the line.
Go ahead, Warren. Okay.
Yeah, let's take that away.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Larry Sabri.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. I don't know how old the senator is. I've never met him before, but I'm sure he's the one from Sino County.
Yeah, sure.
Listening to Senator Duncan, I'm sorry that you have to realize so late at the age at which he has attained. But I think
You know, he's not very old. He's not very old.
but he says he's a old man now. So,
But don't worry, the senator got almost 40 years to do this thing. He's not very old.
thank you for that. You don't want to regret that you got old before you realize it. But Senator, what I wanted to say was the fact that there's something you leave out about the education.
Oh,
That?
yes.
Oh, wow.
We just went off the line. This person, yes. Morning.
Good morning for you and Marka. Good morning to Uncle Christoph Duncan, one of the men I really admire in Liberia. Mr. Duncan, thank you this morning. You are a good man. So, President, let me just acknowledge you.
Why you all are not critiquing Creighton? Because he's like, well, I mean, man.
No, the thing is that he's doing well. I don't want to critique him. I just I want to say he's doing well. He's making some certain points. But on the contrary, Mr. Duncan is a working man before he got a power. I know he's probably going to get a Joshua. I know he's probably going to take up things.
Yeah, he declared assets. So you have the right to name it. He declared the assets. Yeah, go ahead.
You got his power before you start building story building. Nobody will fight him for that, right? But on the other hand, there are people who know his concept, Mr. Duncan, who did not have anything. I don't expect him to power. It's like a double marshal. It's like a double. So if the member is coming and putting pressure on these people, why not just put that they just put pressure on them? They don't prosecute, they're not only putting pressure on them. You hear? But thank you for the hard work. Don't be afraid. Let them be focused and strong as all you people. Thank you very much.
Yeah, please, let's allow that way to land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the issue of education. Sometimes all of the advocacy will be wasted if, for example, Sino that got no gold mine and no fishing stuff don't have the technical know-how. No matter the number of concessions we sign in this country, if the young people don't have the education, the chief institutions, I just wanted you to add that in your advocacy. Because I hear you talk much about, you said corruption, 20% politics, 80%. But education is key to sustain of all of those concessions in your advocacy. So please take note of that. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So we'll do one more call. Yes, then we'll call it a day. Go back. We'll into our radio time. Yes, Marka, if you have, go ahead and pick up.
Yes, let me pick this person. Good morning. Let's take this person. Good morning. Oh, sorry. This call
Yeah. So
flashing
if the call's not going through, we can go back to him. We just use the next 5 minutes.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I listened to all of the callers. There is something in them that is striving for what I am looking at. And this is what I've decided that we should be brave to begin doing that. It is important. And so I will now hold the bull by the horn and ask others with better ideas than what I have, better learning than I have, to join me. Because, propagating it in the Senate, yes, I will be doing that. But it is also a war. And many times people would like to lean to political parties and support, not to be, they're talking about seeing their leadership as being weak or not doing things in the interest of the people. So you always have some difficulties when you play in politics. But I believe when this movement is established and the brains come together, we have diverse knowledge and ideas, and we'll be able to see how we can pressure our people in order for them to follow what we are following. So the caller said that Mita is giving back something. I know Mita is spending a lot of money on public relations. I for what I listen to on the radio, they're not just sitting there. Okay. But my thing I say is Mita producing at least steel raw in this country, or they don't have the capacity to produce at least steel raw or value added to our mineral they are taking out of here, And so when we talk about the laws on the book, there are many laws there. I'm only talking about reforming it on our minerals, on the minerals. That's my major thing there, which is going to be difficult for any government to want to do because of the fear of our partners. And this is one thing I want you to know. Our partners don't just sit down and look at us running our country. They participate into it 100%. They lead our leaders. They threaten our leaders. Think about men like President Tobo. When Tobo said after 1980 there would be no important rice in Liberia. When the time came, Tobo died, everybody saw, they only saw it from one perspective. But today, we now realize that that Liberians spend over $200 million on rice, buying rice in this country every year or more. And we know that Vietnam, Indochina, Vietnam, Cambodia, even India, all of them now are used for the market to be able to produce rice, to supply it for them, for our partners, for us to buy. Do you think you can stop those partners from selling $200 million rice to Liberia every year? You stay in a way they will get you out. So I want you to know that we should begin to realize some of these. The only thing the partners will do, as the agriculture minister, they will help us with means of planting cocoa, coffee, coconut, and just chestnut, what they can call cashew, all those kind of things, because those are value added for them. They want a lot of them to go to the country so that prices can be reduced and it can be scarce. So they come to Africa and encourage you to buy, to plant those things and export them. But the things that we really need, they will never encourage you to do it. So we got to begin to face these things and understand how we do it. The honeymoon thing, no. I told you that I was under 1 year.
6 years.
No, that's
in
the
what
house. Yeah, they suit my man. They suit my man. But I told you it is difficult in the House of Representatives to get things done than in the House of the Senate. I gave you an example. I said 73% look like 73,000 people.
Okay.
My people have put me to a platform now that I'm comfortable and I'm ready to fight. This is the time I'm ready. There's always a time for somebody in their life to be ready. This is my time. All right. So it was our 6-year honeymoon. I saw it as a 1 year honeymoon in the house. All right. Yeah, the concept about education, I agree with you, my brother. You are right about that. We'll see. And I want you to come in to join me. With your permission, the movement has its number. And I would like to, based on your permission, to put it out there.
Our movement.
Okay. Yes. It is.
You going all the content?
Oh, definitely. 0774 930 194. The number again for you who are trying to get your paper and your pen so hastily to write it down. It is 0774 930 194. And I don't have much to say. It's just
as you close up, I will look forward to see you again. The next time when you appear with us, you will tell us some progress with this our movement.
We have so many things to talk about, but all the time you got 1 hour, and 1 hour is never enough. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great. So as we try to close up, this is how we're going on the Monday edition of the True Breakfast Show. It's been wonderful. Trust me, we're going to do this another time. Probably we'll go 2 hours the next time. So on behalf of the entire team, thanks for all of the relays. Marka Davis, for the Roberts. We'll see you on tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
True FM. That is his program. What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in your grateful manner, we'll take your later.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary tour. My name is Hansen the represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Both connecting those things.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Via TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.